What's up, Pump Town and friends? Welcome back to another update. Boy, I hope you had a great weekend. I really did. I'm burnt out. I'm thoroughly, satisfyingly bored. And it's everything I ever wanted. So shout out to NASDAQ for making my dreams come true. Thank you, NASDAQ, for being so beautiful. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Wow, let's start in the month. So we have done this. Now, if I was bearish on the month, I'd be like, tops in, we're dumping, see you later, short everything, it's over. But I don't really see that happening. Now, the swing low model, as far as a target, has been acquired. So the first low-hanging fruit objective of this specific swing low here would be the highest high that the three candles create. So that's been acquired. I know, it sucks. So I like this price point. $22,023. Do we continue up? So I got a bullish bias. I would like us to continue up. I would like to say the bottom's in. We're going up now. We're going to go fill some orders beyond the all-time high. That gun to my head, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know that to be true, but I would like that to be true. So let's see if we can get an analysis that would agree with that bias in the lower time frames. Now, here's the deal. That impulse from this low to this high is our gap risk. In my opinion, we're going to reach an all-time high eventually. It's just like, but do we come down first? It is possible. So you need to understand that there will be specific points in which I will determine a bullish bias offside. So for now, I can only go with the fact that it's going up for now because that's all I see. And if you're new here, your instinct would be, oh, it's pumped enough, it's got to come back down, and that's why I'm going to counter trade you. And we're going to buy the dip and hold for higher prices in the trend, because this expansion from that low to that recent high is, in the lower time frames, a big giant uptrend. And when you keep shorting any sort of down movement and chasing that short, the reason why you're offside constantly is because you should have been buying that dip for the higher high in the trend. That's what you're missing out on. So if you can reverse what you're doing just right there, that would be pretty dope for you. So going into the weekly time frame. Well, here's the thing. I like this price point. I just want to make sure what the open is here. 487. So that's the open. And then the open of this candle, 487.75. So that's the open there. So this here, this was already on our charts at the beginning of the month. This was that monthly volume imbalance that we found support on. So this is something that I would like to see hold support. And we're at the quadrant now for the rejection block here, for that wick. So this is something that I would like to see flipped. So I'll leave that price point on actually. And I'll be aiming for that. Obviously aiming for the all-time high this month. And if we don't get there, it's okay. Maybe we just dig up into here for a bit. So going into the weekly chart, order flow is bullish. The problem with this whole thing is our swing low is down here. So this right here is the whole trend. So pulling from that low to that high, that's hilarious. That's like max premium and discount right there. So when you're up in this premium price point, it's really tough to keep longing. It really is. I'm with you. So you just kind of gotta keep breaking down the time frames. So noting that inefficiency that we found support on, if we lose this, I'm offside for the month. I want to see that hold support. We can't lose this bottom. And if that's the case, I'll immediately be aiming for this liquidity void below the market. So it's not that I'm calling both directions. It's I see that order flow is still bullish in the higher time frames. Yes, we can come down for a swing low and create the higher low in the trend. I'm inviting that, but that'll be here. It could even come down to here. And then we can continue on our journey. So we got to be able to invite that in our analysis, but that'll tell us if we start losing specific PD arrays in the market, especially higher time frames. So just for now, I was aiming for this candle's high here, the low hanging fruit out of the three of the relative equal highs here. So I really like that. And now it's getting way too messy. So this here, that's the wick in the monthly time frame, and that's the midway point. I'm aligning that midway point with this gap here. So I see the difference between this candle's close, and this open here. Just making sure. Yeah. That right there is an inefficiency, so I'm going to have that on the chart. And we'll label this an old week opening gap. So if we're going to reach up, if we're going to reach up into major buy-side liquidity and start working it in the lower time frames, we're going to flip this box. Just like we flipped this guy. Where was it? There was a little guy's daily time frame. There's a tiny little box right there. We just SR flipped it. But you'll see in the lower time frames the magic happen. So this big, huge range here is the big, large premium and discount range, but we need to refine this. So we understand that the equilibrium of the macro range is here. So we're just going to note that 19.8 is about it. But we're just going to go not too far. We're going to go about 20 days and just note the highest high and the lowest low. So that's just this impulse here. So that's what we're working with right now. Notice that this here is the discount array. And it's found a swing low in the trend and has made a higher high. Now today determines if we make the higher low in the trend, or do we come down for one more, make the higher low, just come down, maybe equilibrium, maybe discount. Here's where you can start refining it, because if it's really bullish, it's not going to want to come down. You know how sometimes it'll come to equilibrium and you're not really sure if that was it or not, but your model's there and then it was it. How you can play the equilibrium is you take the premium range and you completely wipe out the discount zone. So instead of having your discount and your premium, you now have here your premium. Oops. And your discount. So in here now, you're looking for your arrays. So we're just going to note the bullish breaker. And I will consider this a discount array. So this is a place in which I would want to seek a bottom. Now that aligns with this inefficiency right here. So I don't actually need to drag that across the screen. I can just take that. And I would invite this. It doesn't have to come down here, but it'd be pretty sweet if it did, because then, you know, maybe it even comes and stabs into the pool of liquidity down here. That would be sweet. That would be a discount buy. Turtle soup, perhaps. We could even invite that it would come to this inefficiency here and come and offer sell side, because that close and that open only has buy side in it. It only has buy side delivery, so it could come down and offer sell side and still reprice it here. But just for now, if we start seeing our models in the lower time frames in these price points, in that one for sure, and just below, I would say this guy here. So this one I'll actually drag out across the screen. And this would be a reclaimed order block, in my opinion. It's also this inefficiency right here. So it's offered buy side, it's offered sell side in it, buy side, some sell side, and gap through. So you can see that the algorithm really likes that price point. So instead of that, I'm actually just going to use this. So the pool liquidity that rests under here, we might reprice to here. Who knows? And anyway, that's the beginning of May. So this could be the bottom. Typically, we make the bottom the first week of the month. I am inviting this. If it's really squirrely, I'm inviting something like this to happen. This month. Basically the same thing lower, in that lower time frame, just bigger, just like expect anything. But that price point here, if we lose it, then it'll be a cakewalk getting down into here for sure. No news Monday and Tuesday, so let your model be obvious. Don't expect a lot. The price action will likely print favorably. It just won't work in the big giant range. Typically, we're looking for a nice profile to materialize. So if we don't get the big Judas Monday, then we're waiting for Tuesday. If we don't get a Tuesday, we're waiting Wednesday. By then, it's so obvious what price is going to want to do, because it's going to be in a rush to get there. It's actually a lot more fun. And you'll get used to that as you get used to your discipline skills. What's up, everybody? Shout out to Brian, Fipsy, Stas. What's up? Mato, Mario, Bellicose, 302 boys. What's up? Turbo Tyler here. What up? What's up, man? Lid. What's up, buddy? The daily candle does not have a tail. Let's see. The open 471 and the low 471. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're right. So maybe that was the clue that we were coming down in here. Let's just check out the 4 hour. Just see what the information says here in the trend. Because those crude depictions that I create in the trend, like, they really work out great. Where you just got beautiful higher highs, higher and lows, and then all of a sudden you make this kind of sketchy bull flag, weird looking thing, and then you stop it out and then take off. Like, I'm with you. For sure. That could happen. I'm down with it. But, you know, at midnight tonight, well, let's check it out. What happened so far since the open? I would be interested to see where the close is at midnight tonight. Not bad, holy moly. We might have a nice day tomorrow, you guys. There's an inefficiency down here from yesterday that aligns with some Asian stuff. Look, if we start repricing lower and we hit that, oh my gosh. If we reprice lower first this week, it's going to be so much fun. So I'm going to really be on high alert because these next 2 weeks is the expansion weeks. Yeah, wild berries. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.